My name is Mark Knight. I'm a member at All Saints, and we've always wanted to have the cross as a symbol on our church. We haven't necessarily had the opportunity to do that, but now we do with this capital campaign. And with that symbol, we'd like to honor one of ours that passed, Andrew Halton. And Andrew was he was quiet but extraordinary. He was reserved but bold. When he spoke, people listened. He didn't always speak, but when he did, it was powerful. Andrew went before our church about 10 years ago and spoke about their experiences in Haiti, and it was probably one of the most moving experiences we've had in our church, where people gave considerably after he spoke, and it was an extraordinary story of him giving of himself and taking chances and for an orphanage in Haiti. And that speaks to who Andrew was. He was welcoming to others in the church. He was hospitable. I think he deeply cared about others and their well-being. And I think that was evident by his service as a deacon, because he worried about people and their needs and lived that out. Andrew and I served on the building committee for our church together, and he was also a source of respite. I mean, he was a source of respite for myself on the building committee, because I really leaned on Andrew quite heavily during the process. And he was, his personal rudder really guided our committee and gave us a real grounding in that process. And I miss him for that reason just deeply, because he was such an important part of our church. The cross serves as a symbol to us as a congregation of who Christ is and what he did for us. And there's a parallel there with Andrew because of his service and because of what a special person Andrew was. I think the cross will serve as a reminder of who we are as a church and what we believe in what Christ did for us. But it's also a reminder that Andrew was an important part of this church, that we cared deeply for him and he cared deeply for this church. So what is the legacy that Andrew left behind? What does this cross on our church represent? How do we move forward, and what does this mean? I think it means that we serve others. This cross is a symbol of our church body, and that we're a group of people that need each other. That we, in this neighborhood, should let our light shine before men, meaning the people around us, that we care for our community. And last, I think that this church is a place of respite and a place for those to come in and lay their burdens down and see Christ together. Andrew cared for others tremendously, but he didn't necessarily want to be in the limelight. But he couldn't help it because of the light that just kind of shined from Andrew and his care for others. But this cross is a representation of our love of Christ, of Andrew's love of Christ. And I think the important thing is that we remember that this symbol is our belief that Christ died on the cross for our sins, and we remember Christ, and it's also a symbol that we remember Andrew. So a powerful thing happened a couple weeks ago in church. I snuck in, was sitting in the very back of the church, and as the pastors were exiting, Tim was walking down the side aisle, and I waved at Tim as he walked by. He was over near the window and wasn't expecting it, but he came around behind me and just put his hand on my shoulder and squeezed it, and nothing was said, but what was said is that we miss Andrew. And it kind of hit me in church because, you know, we all really miss Andrew, and there's something powerful there. There's one, you know, there's somebody missing amongst the building committee that, and when Tim put his hand on my shoulder, I felt that there's somebody missing, and I think that this is a powerful thing for our church, just as a symbol of who he was.